Well, hello to anyone watching this video. My name is Daniel, and this is my first video on my first YouTube channel. The thing is that I really have a few hobbies that I want to share with other people that would love these hobbies. I'm gonna start with Magic the Gathering, which is probably the content that I'm gonna be creating the most. And the first thing I want to do is to show you my very first deck that I built myself on my own, of course, with a lot of research. I started playing Magic the Gathering around a year ago, probably a little bit more than that now. And of course, I spent quite some time reading and doing a lot of research, asking people, and of course, going to the local game store and play Magic the Gathering, which is a lot of fun. And since then, I thought I would start creating content on it. I will show you, of course, I'm a big fan of the Lord of the Rings, as you can see, Middle Earth, and of course all the books. And I created my first deck on Sauron, the Lord. I started buying Magic the Gathering cards because of Lord of the Rings. I saw they had these cards and I just thought I needed to get some of them, and eventually I got involved in Magic the Gathering, going to play at the local store, and had so much fun that I had to keep creating more decks, which of course I will be showing you. This is a commander deck, it's 100 card, and Sauron the Dark Lord is my commander. I will show you all the cards and go through all of them, but of course you need to have one of these. This is the One Ring, which I use to track which one is the ring bearer in my deck, because the whole strategy with Sauron the Dark Lord is that you amass an orc army, which will happen every time someone plays a spell. But also you have, just amass orcs 1 whenever any opponent casts a spell, and whenever an army you control deals combat damage to a player, the ring tempts you. Whenever the ring tempts you, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 4 cards. And this is what I use to track it, because of it's really cool to have something like that. And just to show you Sauron the Dark Lord himself on the side, just to be part of the video. A lot of people do or create this deck around the Nazgul, which you can have up to 9 cards. I find it's of course great. I don't have the whole 9 Nazguls. That's why at the moment I did not create my deck around the Nazgul. I do just want to have a mention to this card, which is one of the Nazguls, which was a gift from my girlfriend. I will probably in the future buy the rest of the Nazguls. This is just the second that I have, and will eventually also try this deck with the Nazgul. But I'm going to start showing you the creatures that I have. You have the Witch King of Angmar. I'm not going to go through the cards a lot. I'm just going to show you quickly some of them and the most important things that I have for my deck. And then of course you will have in the description of this video the Moxfield link, where you can see and just check all the cards that I have. This is a really strong creature, 5/3 with flying. And also it has some of the cards that I have will have the ability to let the ring tempt you, because it will be also a booster for Sauron's ability, having the ability to just discard your hand and then draw 4 cards. The whole deck is surrounded about amassing orcs, which a lot of cards that I will show you will do as an ability. And the whole strategy will be to build as strong army as possible, as soon as possible, and then strike with that army. And I have a few cards that will do that. But of course we can always have the ability to let the ring tempting us, and the ability to also get some benefit from this Sauron ability that will let you discard your hand. Of course, you have Coursers of Angmar. A target goblin, orc, or pirate can be blocked this turn. This is great, because whenever we have a big army, we don't want it to be blocked by a 1/1 creature or something like that, because the army does not have trample. So we would like it to go through, and this is one of the ways we have to achieve that. And whenever Coursers of Umber deals combat damage to a player, you amass orcs 3, which is also going to grow your army. You have Saruman the White Hand. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, then amass Orcs X, where X is that spell mana value. Is also a great way to get more army. You have Orcish Sick Master, Trample. Other orcs and goblins you control have Trample. This is a way where you can give your army Trample, which is also going to be great because our goal is to have an army which is hopefully going to be 20 or plus that, and to be able to have Trample that's going to get through the damage. You have Ring Wraith whenever or when Ring Wraith enters the battlefield, target creature and opponent controls get -3/-3 until the end of turn. If that creature is legendary, its controller loses 3 life, and whenever the ring tempts you, then return this card from the graveyard to your hand, which is also good. You have Moria Scavenger, Dead Touch and Haste. Discard a card, draw a card. If the discarded card was a creature card, then amass Orcs 1, also more Orc Army. Lord of the Nazgul, of course, is going to be a better card to have with the whole 9 Nazguls, but this is also really a really good card. It has flying. Wraiths you control have protection from ring bearers, and whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 3/3 black wraith creature token with menace. As I mentioned, it will be a better card if you have the whole 9 Nazguls. You have Anger, which will give haste to every creature you have if it's in the graveyard and you have a mountain, which is also good to have your Orc army or Sauron itself have haste. You have the Mouth of Sauron. When the Mouth of Sauron enters the battlefield, target player mills 3 cards, then amass Orcs X, where X is the number of instant and sorcery cards in that player's graveyard, also a way to grow your army even more. When Grishnak Brush Instigator enters the battlefield, amass Orcs 2. When you do, until the end of turn, gain control of target non-legendary creature an opponent controls with power less than or equal to the amass army's power. This is also good. You have Sheoldred, which will give you 2 whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. Whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life, which this is great if you will activate Sauron's ability by letting the ring tempt you. It will let you discard your hand and draw 4 cards. You will gain 8 life. Or if you have something that will let people draw more cards and you will deal damage. But anyway, it's a great way for you to also gain life. You have lots of the Chancellor. Whenever you discard a card, you may pay 1 mana. If you do, then amass Orcs 2. This is good. This is also a great card with Sauron's ability of discarding, because it has, whenever you cycle or discard another card, put a -1/-1 counter on each creature your opponents control. So if you use Sauron's ability with 4 cards in your hand, all creatures will get -4/-4, but only opponent creatures, which will make it really useful. You have Gothmog. When Gothmog Morgul Lieutenant enters the battlefield, then amass Orcs 1, and creatures tokens you control have Death Touch. Of course, our Orc army is a creature token. You have Orcish Bowmasters. This is great. It has Flash, which means you can use it as an instant. And when Orcish Bowmasters enters the battlefield, and whenever an opponent draws a card except the first one they draw in each of their draw steps, Orcish Bowmasters deals 1 damage to any target. This is great. You can target any creature or any opponent, and then you amass Orcs 1. This is also a great way to grow your army even more. You have Mauhood, you have Menace. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters will be put on an army, goblin or orc you control, then that many +1/+1 counters are put on it instead. So you put 2 or 3 counters +1, which is also a way to accelerate the growing army. You have, of course, also Sauron here, and when you cast these spells, you amass Orcs 5. Mill 5 cards and then return a target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It has Trample, and whenever a commander an opponent controls dies, the ring tempts you. Another way to let in the ring tempts you. Warg Rider, Menace. Other orcs and goblins you control have Menace, which is great to give to your orc army. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you amass orcs 2. This happens every time, which is great. Morgul Knife. This is a great card. We start here. We are finished with the creatures, but we have really good artifacts here. This is a crit creature gets +1/+1 and has trample and lifelink. This is great to have for your army. Also, you have, if you pay 1 mana, permanents your opponent's control lose hexproof and indestructible until the end of turn, and it costs only 1 and 2 to equip it. This is a great card. Most of the cards that I have are aimed to be Lord of the Rings cards, so maybe some of them will not exactly be the best fit for the deck, but still amazing with the whole thematic of this deck. You have Palantir of Orthanc, which is a way to also, I will explain this card. It's a really fun card because at the beginning of your end step, put an influence counter on Palantir of Orthanc and scry 2. Then target opponent may have you draw a card. If that player doesn't, then you mill X cards, where X is the number of influence counters on Palantir of Orthanc, and that player loses life equal to the mana value, to the total mana value of those cards. This is great because you will have either they will have to choose if they will let you draw a card or they will have to lose life, which is a really fun card to have. Of course, you have 6 mana commander, which you really want to use and to be able to cast it as soon as possible. So of course we have a lot of mana rocks and mana and ways to create mana as soon as possible. This is the Talisman of Dominance. Some of my cards are in German as I live in Germany, but also other cards are in Japanese, so I will try to just tell you exactly which card is every card, but most of them are in English. You have the One Ring. Of course, the perfect fit for this deck would be to have the One Ring. It has indestructible. It gives you protection from everything from one turn, and it will be your way to draw cards. You will have a burden counter, which will take life every time, every turn, but you will be able to draw that many cards every turn, which is of course great. You have Soul Ring, another way to create mana. Relic of Sauron will give you 2 manas of any combination of the 3 colors you need to cast Sauron. Amazing. And you have the ability to pay 3 mana and draw 2 cards and then discard 1 card. It's a 4 mana, but is of course the perfect fit for this deck. You have Arcane Signet, more mana. Izzet Signet, Mind Stone, and Talisman of Indulgence. Lightning Grades. Equipped creature has haste and shroud. This is also great because you would really want to give these things to Sauron or your army. This card is in Japanese, but this is the Ozolith. This is a great card to have because it's an artifact which says pretty much that whenever you have a creature with counters on it and this creature dies, these counters will go to the Ozolith, which means to this card. And in the next turn, these counters, you will be able to put them on another creature. Meaning if you have Sauron there, it's still alive, you can pass all these +20 counters from your army to Sauron and then be able to deal commander damage with that, for example. That will be a way to use it. You have Rakta's Signet and you have Felwar's Stun. You have Talisman of Creativity, even more mana, and Demiad Signet, so even more mana. We get Dark Steelplate, Indestructible. Equipped creature has Indestructible, also great to give your army or Sauron. You have Mithril Coat. It has Flash, which is amazing. It's a way to react to someone attacking you. Indestructible. And when Mithril Coat enters a battlefield, attach it to legendary creature you control, and equipped creature has Indestructible. So it's pretty much free to attach to any legendary creature like Sauron. Toxic Deluge, which is pretty much removal. Exactly, so you pay life and then all creatures get -1, minus the amount of life you spend. You have Fit the Swarm, destroy target creature or enchantment. You have Ringside, the ring tempts you, and search your library for a card that shares the color with a legendary creature you control, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle. It's a great way pretty much to get a card, plus also having the ring tempting you. Foray of Orcs, amass Orcs 2. When you do, Foray of Orcs deals X damage to target an opponent controls, where X is the amassed army's power. These cards are great to do something like this because, of course, it's a way to deal a lot of damage, as your army will probably grow strong really fast. You have put target creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. That creature deals damage equals to its power to each other creature. Also good card to have. Chandra's Ignition. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each other creature and each opponent. This is a great way to have grow your army as much as possible and then deal tons of damage with this card. I have another card which does pretty much the same. They're quite similar, but these targets also each opponent. You have Vandal Blast. You can destroy artifacts. This is widespread brutality. You amass Orcs 2, and then you pretty much do the same. You deal damage equal to its power to any non-army creature. Sauron will probably die, but still you will have your army after everyone is pretty much out of the game. You will still have your army. Their Blasphemous Act. We know this card. Reanimate, because some of your cards when you use Sauron's ability, will go to the graveyard. That's how you will get some of them back. You have Orcish Medicine. Target creature gains your choice of lifelink or indestructible until the end of turn, which will be, for example, your army. Vampiric Tutor to get some of our cards on the game. Counter Spell Protection. An offer you can't refuse, also for protection. Arcane Denial, counter target spell. Deadly Relic, which is amazing because it's free if you have a commander, so you pretty much cast exile target creature. Go for the truth. Destroy target non-artifact creature. Dark Ritual, you get mana out of 1 black mana. Frantic Surge, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards, untap up to 3 lands. This is a Dreadhorde Invasion. You will pay 1 life, but you create or amass orcs once. In this case, is amass zombies. Then you will have an orc zombie army. Exactly, this will happen every time on your upkeep. You pay 1 life, you amass orc zombies once. Call of the Ring, a way to be tempting you. So at the beginning of your upkeep, the ring tempts you. This will happen every turn, and whenever you choose a creature as your ring bearer, you may pay 2 life. If you do, draw a card. So you pay life and you draw some cards. Then we are just arriving to the enchantments. This will create black wraith creatures and letting the ring tempt you. And for each opponent, gain control of up to 1 target creature that player controls until end of turn. Untap those creatures, they gain haste until the end of turn, and the ring tempts you. Also a great card. Fires of Mount Doom. When Fires of Mount Doom enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to target creature an opponent controls. Destroy all equipment attached to that creature. If you pay 2 and a red mana, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. When you play that card this way, Fires of Mount Doom deals damage to each player. Veil of Caer Andros. This is a great card. If you have this card, this is the only combo that I have in this deck. It says whenever a creature an opponent controls is dealt excess non-combat damage, amass Orcs X, where X is the excess damage. If you use Blasphemous Act and you deal 13 damage to each creature, but there are 2/2 creatures and they die, you create 11 excess damage will go here to your orc army directly. So that's for each creature. If you're playing against 3 other people, you can get an orc army of +40 just by using Blasphemous Act when this card is on the field. once, and then you will be able to attack, and that will be it. This is the only combo that I have. If not, it's not an infinite combo, but it's a great combo. And this is March from the Black Gate. This will let you, when March from the Black Gate enters the battlefield, and whenever an army you control attacks, then amass orcs 1. More amassing orcs. And then we arrive to the lands we have for this deck. This is Urvok, Tomb of Yakmoth, which you all know this card. This will let all of your lands be swamps, and also to all the types of land they already are. It's in Japanese, sorry, but this is the Lord of the Rings version. This is Cabal Coffers, which will give you pretty much 1 black mana for each swamp you control, which is, if you combine the 2 cards, you will get a lot of black mana out of this. And this is Minas Morgul. You have Watery Grave, you have good dual lands, Sunken Hollow, Exotic Orchard, you have Smoldering March. Most of them are from Lord of the Rings, not all of them. Drowned Catacomb is from Lord of the Rings. Underground River is also from Lord of the Rings. Command Tower, Steam Vents. You have the Black Gate. This is a great land. At the Black Gate, as the Black Gate enters the battlefield, you may pay 3 life. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tapped. You add 1 black mana. But if you pay 1 neutral mana and 1 black mana, choose a player with the most life or tied for most life, and then target creature can't be blocked by creatures that player controls this turn. So you will make also your orc army unblockable. You have Polluted Delta to be able to search for lands. You have Sulphurous Springs. You have Bojuka Bok, in this case the Lord of the Ring versions, Borrowed Downs, and well, you just exile someone's graveyard. You have Rogue's Passage, which if you pay 4, then you can also make your army unblockable. You have Minas Morgul, which is not necessarily the best fit for this deck, as it allows you to play a lot with the Nazgul, which I don't have, but it's still a great card just to have in this deck. Barad-dûr enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary creature, and then it will let you pay XX plus 1 black mana to amass orcs X, and but you can only activate it if a creature died that turn. You have Henneth Anun, or Reflecting Pool, for more mana. This is also a fetch land. You pay 1 life and you get 1 basic land. You have Dragon Skull Summit, Mines of Moria, which will let you exile 3 cards from your graveyard and create 2 treasure tokens if you pay the mana. You have Mount Doom. If you tap it, you pay 1 life and add either black mana or red mana. Then you have the possibility to Mount Doom deals 1 damage to each opponent, or you can sacrifice Mount Doom and a legendary artifact and then choose up to 2 creatures and destroy the rest. Activate only as a sorcery. You can pretty much target Sauron, your army, destroy everyone else, and then attack with either of them. Rivendell, unfortunately some of these lands will enter tapped if you don't control a legendary creature, but they're great lands for this deck. You have Luxury Suite, Blood Crypt, Forge Boyne Ruins, Shipwreck Marsh, Takenuma, and Abandoned Mire. It will have the channel ability, which you pay 3 neutral mana and 1 black mana, discard Takenuma, and then mill 3 cards and return a creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each legendary creature you control. And then, well, you have the basic lands, which are all from Lord of the Ring, Sword Foil, because they look really good. That was my deck. Thank you so much for watching this video. As I mentioned, this is the first video that I am creating, and I will start creating more videos showing you all of my decks and give you in the future also more detailed videos on all of the cards. Specific ones, videos are not going to be necessarily longer, but just to deal deeper, dive deeper into some of my cards as well. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you subscribe to my channel or at least like this video. And I will also be creating more content on not only Magic the Gathering, but also Dungeons and Dragons and other tabletop games that I play with my friends that I'm enjoying a lot. And these are pretty much my hobbies at the moment. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy it, and until next time.